UFC Fight Night Rio, Oliveira versus Gamrot. Quick picks, quick predictions. You guys already know the UFC's headed back to Rio De Janeiro, and we got Charles Oliveira in the main event. Let's go, boys. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my quick picks, my quick predictions, every single breakdown from the early prelim to the main event. So before we go ahead and get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's start it off with the early prelim opener of Luan Lacerda versus Simon Oliveira. Two guys that shouldn't be in the UFC, let's just be honest. Two Brazilians, though, so they chucked them as the early prelim opener. And I'm not completely mad at it. Somebody's probably going to get knocked out because both these guys are kind of chinny, kind of shit. That's basically all I really got to say. Both of them are shit. They both get chinned. Simon Oliveira is coming off that loss to Martinez. You know, he got KO'd in the first. He was just a lamb thrown into the slaughterhouse, basically. Massive underdog. He got knocked out in the first round. Luan Lacerda hasn't fought in a minute. I think last time he got chinned as well. So both these guys are kind of chinny. Both quite inactive. Both getting older. Shouldn't be on the UFC roster, but they're both Brazilian, so they're both on this card. Tough pick. I'm going to go Luan Lacerda as the quick pick. I don't trust Simon Oliveira at all. Like, at all. I can't pick the dude. There's no way I'm picking Simon Oliveira in the big 2025. He's chinny. He's getting older. He doesn't have any wins in the I think he's got one win in the UFC, and that was so long ago. He's on a big losing streak right now. Even though Luan Lacerda has been out for a while, he's a taller guy, the bigger guy for the bantamweight division. I think he's got more pop in his shot, and I think he could finish Simon Oliveira. I'm just going to go Luan Lacerda as the quick pick. Might get a finish here, might not. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm going Luan Lacerda as the quick pick for this fight. We move on to a fight I care about a little bit more. Julia Pilastri versus Caroline Kowalik. I can't say her last name. I'm not saying it. I'm going Julia Pilastri, man. I think Pilastri is one of the most underrated WMMA fighters right now. She's a dog. It's unfortunate she lost her last fight. She was picking up the pace at the end of that fight, and she was looking really good. I think it was against Lupi Godinez, and she was beating her up. She's beating her up, walking her down like a Terminator. Literally did not give a shit. She's really fun, lots of power. Really dangerous. Obviously, she's had some tough matchups. I think she fought Jasmine Jasdavicius in her Dana White Contender Series fight. Lost that fight. You know, she lost to Lupi Godinez. She's lost to some decent grapplers, but I do not think Carolina is a good grappler anymore. She's not a good fighter anymore. She's old. I think she's like 39. She's way past her prime. She's small. I mean, Julia Pilastri's smaller, but she's a ball of power. I think Carolina Kowal, I'm genuinely not even going to try to say her name. She doesn't have the Polish power. She's old. She's slow. I think Julia Pilastri is going to walk her down. I actually think Pilastri is going to find a finish here over Carolina in Brazil. I think Julia Pilastri is surprisingly good. She's got power. Like I said, she's going to walk her down. She's going to throw big shots. She's going to defend the takedowns. I think Julia Pilastri wins this fight 10 out of 10 times. I don't see Carolina Kowalik pulling off this upset. I'm going Julia Pilastri as the quick pick. I'm going to say she gets a TKO in the second or third round, honestly, after beating up Carolina for a little bit. So I'm going to go Julia Pilastri as the quick pick. I think she's much better than Carolina. I think she's going to get it done in Brazil. We move on. Next fight, Walter Walker versus Muhammad Usman. Amen. Walter Walker's getting that heel hook. On everything, Walter Walker's getting that heel hook. I think Walter Walker's going to be able to fluke these heel hooks until he breaks into the top 10. I'm not kidding. That bottom barrel of the top 15 is just bums. He was able to get that submission last time out against Kennedy. Got the heel hook. That's 3 in a row now for Walter Walker. And they ranked him. Even though he said he didn't want to get ranked, they still ranked him. They need heavyweight ranked guys. So they put Walter Walker top 15. Muhammad Usman, you know, he's decent. He won that last fight against the Hammer. The Hammer. We're not going to talk about him, but he won that last fight. I think it was a split decision. It might have been a unanimous decision, but not a bad win for Muhammad Usman, but he is old. He's not very good on the ground, and I think Walter Walker is going to get that heel hook, man. I don't see a winning path for Muhammad Usman unless he stuffs Walter Walker's takedowns immediately. I think if Walter gets a takedown in that first minute of this fight, it's over. I think it's over guaranteed. I'm going to go Walter Walker by heel. I'm not going to pick by heel hook, but I'm going to say he gets a submission win. Either by heel hook, maybe a rear naked choke, but I think he's going to look for that heel hook. If you go on this guy's Instagram, every single one of his posts is literally pictures of him with like AI or like Photoshop background of like just feet. It's just feet or heels. This guy's whole persona is about getting heel hooks. I don't think he's going to stop until he can't fluke it anymore. I don't think he's going to stop until somebody shuts that shit down. So I got to go Walter Walker by submission, man. I got to go Walter Walker submission. And I think it's almost a lock. I think it's almost a lock. He's a massive favorite. I think he should be. Muhammad Usman is getting older, slower. I can just see Walter Walker getting that heel hook on Usman. So I'm going to go Walter Walker by heel hook. Let's go. That's the quick pick. We move on. Lucas Rocha versus Stuart Nickel. This one's a tough pick. Pretty much a 50-50 fight in my eyes. I think we're going to know exactly who's going to win like 10 seconds into the fight, depending on what happens immediately. Lucas Rocha is quite undersized for the division. Very, very small guy. You know, he's dangerous on the feet, but his grappling is not good. He got exploited in his last fight against Clayton Carpenter, who's also on this card we're going to talk about in a minute. But Lucas Rocha doesn't have the best grappling. He's quite little. He landed that really nice knee on Dana White Contender Series. He's dangerous on the feet. He has a decent amount of power, and he was doing pretty good at the beginning of his fight against Clayton Carpenter. But once Carpenter realized, holy shit, I can take this guy down with ease, hold him down, he got the submission in the second round. So I think Lucas Rocha, unless he's been training his takedown defense, is really going to struggle against Stuart Nickel, who I think is going to know I need to shoot takedowns. I need to go and try to get this guy's neck. In his first fight in the UFC, he fought and got submitted by the great Jesus Aguilar guillotine. You already know the prime Jesus Aguilar guillotine. And yeah, Stuart Nickel put his head in the guillotine, got submitted, got put out cold as well, really, really badly, got choked out, completely unconscious. But Stuart Nickel did have some good moments at the beginning of that fight. You know, he was getting his grappling off on Jesus Aguilar. He had his back for a little bit, was looking for a rear naked choke. He was grappling a little bit. And I think that's what's going to matter in this fight. I really want to pick Lucas Rocha. And, you know, I'm going to be rooting for Rocha. Shoot the box guy. There's quite a few shoot the box fighters on this card. Charles Oliveira, obviously. I'm such a casual. I'm not wearing the Oliveira shirt. But, you know, Lucas Rocha, I just think he's a little bit too undersized. I think he's going to struggle with the grappling. I'm going to go Stuart Nickel. I'm going to say Nickel gets a submission win over Lucas Rocha. Rocha has hopefully been training his takedown defense, but he's just a little bit too small for my liking, man. He's got good striking. He can hurt Nickel for sure, but I think Nickel's going to get the takedowns. He's going to get the back of Rocha. He's either going to sub him or he's going to control him for at least a solid round or two. So give me Stuart Nickel as the quick pick, either by submission or by decision. We move on to the next fight. Bia Mesquita versus Irina Alekseeva. I don't think Irina Alekseeva is UFC level at all. She's 5-3 in her MMA career. She's 35 years old. She put an absolute shit fight in her last one. Got beat up by what's her name? It's one of the other Russians. Claudia Segula. She got beat up by Claudia Segula, looked terrible in that fight. I'm never picking Irina Alekseeva ever again. She is not a UFC level fighter. I'm going Bia Mesquita, and I'm going to say she gets a submission win over Irina Alekseeva. Bia has very, very good BJJ. Very, very good BJJ. She's been training BJJ for so long. She's got so many BJJ fights and so many grappling matches in her career. She's 5-0 in MMA, and I think she's quite good. I think she's going to be able to get to the ground with Irina Alekseeva. I think she's going to be able to choke her out, you know, or grapple her up for at least a few rounds and get that win, man. I think she wins this fight most of the time. I don't see Irina Alekseeva having a path of victory here. I just think she's shit. I think Irina's shit. I'm going Bia Mesquita. I'm going to say she gets a submission win in the second or third round after a little bit of back and forth. I don't think Irina is going to get choked out that easily. She's going to throw hands, but she's got terrible technique. She has a terrible ground game, and she doesn't have anything that shows that she's a UFC level fighter. So giving Bia Mesquita as the quick pick. We move on to the next fight, Vitor Petrino versus Thomas Peterson. When I look at this matchup, it just looks so wrong. It looks so wrong seeing Vitor Petrino versus Thomas Peterson, but it's a fun matchup nonetheless. You know, Thomas Peterson's got good wrestling. He can fraud check some guys. Obviously, he got blobbed out in his last one against Shamil Gaziev, but Thomas Peterson is one of those heavyweights that he looks like a blob, but he's got good wrestling. He's got good MMA skills, decent ground game, and he can definitely give a test to Vitor Petrino, but I think Petrino wins this fight. I'm going to go Vitor Petrino as a quick pick. I think Petrino moving up to heavyweight was the right move. This is what some light heavyweights should be doing. Alexander Rakic, Johnny Walker, you know, Kennedy Kennedy did the move. Kennedy Nchukwu made that move up to heavyweight. Good move. A lot of these light heavyweights can be making that move to heavyweight and really change their career completely. Vitor was on a 2-fight losing streak, lost to Anthony Smith by guillotine, got fraud checked by Anthony Smith, and then he got brutally KO'd by Jacoby? Yeah, Jacoby. And he got brutally KO'd by Jacoby. And then it was like, oh shit, Vitor is on a 2-fight losing streak, both by finish. What's he going to do here? He moves up to heavyweight. He fights, obviously, Austin Lane, chokes him out in the first round. He made it look easy, which is what he should have done, and he did that at least. And I think he's going to beat Thomas Peterson. I'm going to say he finds a knockout over Thomas Peterson in the first or second round. I think Vitor Petrino still has that lighter man skill. He's got good grappling. He's got good striking. I don't see Thomas Peterson really landing anything crazy on Vitor, and I don't think he can control Vitor Petrino. Look at this thick Vitor Petrino we have here, man. If you look at him at light heavyweight compared to heavyweight, he is thick now. He is thick. I still think he's got the power. I still think he's got that lighter man skill. I think he beats Thomas Peterson most of the time. So give me Vitor Petrino by KO. I'm going to say he finds a round 1 or round 2 KO or TKO. Thomas Peterson quit after Shamil Gaziev landed his big meaty hook on Thomas Peterson. He literally got dropped. He took out his mouth guard before the ref even stopped the fight. I don't think Thomas Peterson is going to be able to survive the big shots from Vitor Petrino. So I'm going to say Petrino gets a KO or a TKO in the first or second round. He's going to be my quick pick. We move on, though, to the prelim main event. Jafel Filo versus Clayton Carpenter. I said we were going to talk about Clayton Carpenter later on. Here he is. He's fighting Jafel Filo. This is a good matchup. I like this fight. Both really good grapplers. This is going to be a fun scrambling matchup. We might see somebody get choked out, or we're going to see 15 minutes of grappling, in my opinion. Jafel Filo, really good BJJ. Great rolls on the mat. He rolls very well for knee bars, for arm bars, for the neck, for rear naked chokes. He just rolls around. He's always searching for a submission, always searching for a finish. Very dangerous guy, but he can be finished himself. He's kind of be finished. He's kind of get a finish or be finished kind of fighter. In his last one, though, they did go the 15. He fought Alan Nascimento. I picked Nascimento. Nascimento out-grappled him in the second and third round. That's kind of how it played out. And I think this is going to be a similar situation here where we're going to see Jafel Filo be looking good really early, going to be searching for subs, but I think it's going to be very hard to submit Clayton Carpenter. Clayton Carpenter just fought Tagir Ulanbekov and made it fairly competitive. A lot of people are going to say, oh, that was a clear 29-28, and I do agree that Tagir won that fight, but Clayton Carpenter had his moments in the grappling. He was reversing positions. He didn't give up on himself. He didn't quit against against a Russian training out of Khabib's camp and stuff. He did not give up. He kept looking for scrambles, kept trying to get out of those bad positions, and I think Clayton Carpenter is the more polished grappler out of the two, honestly. I don't see a submission here from either guy, but I do see 15 minutes of grappling, and I think Clayton Carpenter is going to get the better of the grappling exchanges. So I'm going to go Clayton Carpenter, hesitantly. I think this is arguably a 50-50. Jafel Filo has good grappling. He does have really good grappling, but so does Clayton Carpenter. And I think Clayton Carpenter is going to be the more urgent fighter to be looking for better positions, get out of bad positions, get top position, maybe threaten some submissions on Jafel Filo. Filo has been choked out before by Makayev. He just lost to Alan Nascimento by decision. I think Clayton Carpenter can get this fight done. It's going to be a close fight, though, maybe a split decision, but I'm going to go Clayton Carpenter by decision for the early pick, for the quick pick. I just trust him to really dog it out against Jafel Filo, who slows down in round 2 and round 3 after not getting his way in round 1. If he doesn't sub Clayton Carpenter in round 1, I think Carpenter is a great live bet situation because he's going to continue the pressure, continue the cardio for round 2 and round 3. We saw that in the Ulanbekov fight, and we saw Jafel Filo slow down against Nascimento in his last fight. So I'm going to go Clayton Carpenter hesitantly, but I'm going to say he gets it done by decision as the quick pick. We move on to the main card. We got Lucas Almeida, Michael Aswell. I like this fight. Lucas Almeida, always pretty fun fights. Not very urgent in his fights, but he does throw down. He has a questionable chin. A little bit of a questionable chin, but Michael Aswell doesn't have the biggest knockout power. He's got some good scraps in his UFC career so far. He had the Dana White Contender Series fight against Bogdan Grad, which was a scrap, an absolute scrap. Both guys got a contract, split decision win for Grad, but Michael Aswell looked good in that fight. And then he just fought, what's his name? Blagioki at lightweight. Very tough matchup on short notice as well. Moved up to lightweight and went three rounds with Blagioki, 29-28. He got a round on all judges' scorecards. Not too bad of a performance for Michael Aswell as well. Michael got it done. He lost that fight by decision, but he looked pretty good. He had the same significant strikes as Blagioki. Oki landed the bigger shots, much bigger, physically imposing guy in there, but he's very dangerous. Oki is very dangerous, and Michael went head-to-head, went fist-to-fist, with with Bellagioki for the whole 3 rounds. He was throwing the exact same. He was pushing forward. He was on very short notice, and he did not look too tired. And now he's going back down to featherweight against Lucas Almeida, who always gets injured, always gets hurt in his fights, always gets clipped. I think Michael Aswell will find the chin of Lucas Almeida. Do I think he's going to knock him out? Maybe not. Lucas Almeida is very tall, very lengthy, hard to close the distance on, but Michael just gets into the pocket. He throws hands. I don't see Almeida catching him. Michael Aswell has a very good chin. We saw that in the Oki fight. He was eating big shots from a 155, like probably weighing 170 on Fight Night Bellagioki. So I think Michael Aswell gets it done. I'm going to say he gets it done by decision. Lucas Almeida is pretty tough. He will make it close. He makes fights very close, but just doesn't do enough. I think Michael Aswell showed in his last fight he will not let the judges not see him do enough. I think Michael Aswell will do enough. He'll be pushing the pace the entire 15 unless he gets chinned, which I don't see happening. So give me Michael Aswell as the quick pick by decision. I think he'll just outpace Lucas Almeida for 3 rounds. We move on, though. Ricardo Ramos, Con Offley. Tough fight to predict because I don't trust Ricardo Ramos at all. He'll look good sometimes, and then other times he'll shit the bed. And every now and then he'll get a spinning back elbow. I don't know. But Con Offley, I don't think is UFC ready. I don't think he's UFC level. He's still got signed, even though he lost that tough final against Myron Santos. He got chinned real bad. Against Myron Santos. Big uppercut and then check hook. I'm pretty sure he was unconscious, really badly. I'm gonna go Ricardo Ramos in this fight. Tough to pick Ramos in the big 2025. Really, really tough to trust him, but this is one of those spots where he might just get a fluke knockout. He might just get a spinning back elbow or might find Con Offley's chin at some point in this fight. And even though Ricardo Ramos can get finished, I don't think Con Offley is that finisher that's going to find Ricardo Ramos' chin. I don't think he's going to hurt Ricardo Ramos too bad. At some point, he'll probably catch him. But I do see that Ramos could find an early finish in this fight. Con Offley lost to Muhammad Naimov in his last fight. Not the most entertaining fight. It's Naimov. He's boring. But Ricardo Ramos will throw fire to the caution to the wind. What am I saying? Caution to the wind. You guys get what I'm saying. I'm gonna go Ricardo Ramos by first round KO. I'm gonna say he finds a KO in the first round against Con Offley. Finds his chin very early. Just throws something crazy and catches Con Offley, whether that be a spinning back elbow, whether that be a front kick up the middle, a flying knee, an elbow, something crazy, and he's going to chin Con Offley. So I'm going to go Ricardo Ramos to get this done by finishing the first round as the quick pick. Not very confident, but I'm going to pick Ricardo Ramos for the quick pick. We move on, though, to the next fight, Jonata Diniz versus Mario Pinto. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be picking Mario Pinto this week. I am going to be picking Jonata Diniz, man. I don't trust Mario Pinto yet. I don't trust him yet. His best win is against Austin Lane in his last fight. He chinned him badly, but he was competitive up to that point. He landed with those big hooks, but it's 37-year-old Austin Lane, who's 13-7 in his career, shouldn't be in the UFC at all. Just got finished by Vitor Petrino. He's been finished by Jonata. Dude, he's you know what it is? Austin Lane's the group or the school oh man, he's the girl that just gets ran through from every guy, man. The whole football team's ran through her. You know what I mean? And that's Austin Lane, man. He's been ran through from the whole heavyweight division. The whole heavyweight division has ran through Austin Lane. So I don't give credit to Jonata Diniz KOing Austin Lane, to Mario Pinto KOing Austin Lane, to Vitor Petrino subbing Austin Lane. I don't give them any of them credit. I'm looking at the other wins, and Mario Pinto's other wins haven't looked that impressive. And I also think that Jonata Diniz will actually implicate some takedowns here. I have a feeling if somebody's going to be getting a takedown, it's going to be Diniz. Diniz struggled against Marcin Tybura. He let Tybura get on top of him, and once Tybura is on top of you, you're cooked. You're cooked. Tybura weighs 300 pounds, okay? He's big. He's fat. He's on top of you. He's just raining down elbows, and Jonata Diniz, his only loss is to Tybura. He got TKO'd. His eyes were cut open badly. I just don't see Mario Pinto chinning Jonata Diniz. I think Diniz is going to be the better kickboxer. He's going to land the bigger shots. He'll grapple with Mario Pinto. I look at Jonata Diniz's Carl Williams fight, and I'm impressed with that fight. I know Williams isn't in the UFC anymore, but I'm impressed with that fight. Williams is a really good grappler. Shot a lot of takedowns on Jonata Diniz. Diniz was able to reverse positions, get on top, land the bigger shots, stuff the takedowns. I think Diniz is the better kickboxer. Mario Pinto has raw power, big overhand rights, but as long as Jonata Diniz stays defensively sound, I think he wins this fight. I'm going to be picking Jonata Diniz as the quick pick. I'm going to pick him to win by decision over Mario Pinto. Pinto's gone the distance. I think Jonata Diniz is going to grapple. He's going to stay vigilant. stay at his range and then blitz in with some big boxing combinations. He's a kickboxer. I think he's going to be the better striker of the two, and I think he's going to grapple up Mario Pinto for 3 rounds. So give me Jonathan Deniz as a quick pick by decision. I just haven't seen anything from Pinto yet to be like, I'm going to pick Pinto and like lock this in, man. I just don't trust Mario Pinto just yet. If he chins Jonathan Deniz, we'll be talking a different situation here, but I don't think he does. I'm going Jonathan Deniz by decision as the quick pick. We move on to the next fight. Vicente Luque. Your time has come. Like Bedtime would say, your time has come, brother. You're cooked. There's no way out of this one. Joel Alvarez is going to TKO Vicente Luque or sub him with a Darce choke. Bro, why they got to do Vicente Luque like this, man? He was supposed to get a bounce-back win over Santiago Ponzinibbio. But here we go with Joel Alvarez, short notice against Vicente Luque. Alvarez is like a minus 500 favorite, and I think it's understandable. Joel Alvarez 170. We're going to see how he looks, but he's going to be nasty. He's going to be nasty. I really like Joel Alvarez as a fighter. It's been a while since we've seen him. Obviously, his last fight, he beat, who did he beat? Was it Drakkar Klose by KO? Yep, he KO'd Drakkar Klose with the flying knee and then the uppercut. Like, really, really nice stuff by Joel Alvarez. He's a crisp striker, nice grappling, very long and dangerous, very calculated, very, like, his timing is perfect. It's perfect. I just don't know how Vicente Luque is going to close the distance. I don't know how he's going to get into his range. I don't know how he's going to manage the distance with Joel Alvarez without getting clipped with something really bad, really dangerous, and getting chinned. I think this is a terrible matchup for Vicente Luque. And honestly, I think after Santiago pulled out, Vicente should have pulled out of the card. I don't think he should have accepted this matchup. It's very bad. It's a very bad matchup for Vicente Luque. Like guaranteed terrible matchup. Maybe Vicente can prove us wrong. Maybe he can have a little like vintage Vicente Luque performance. I just don't see it happening. He's old. He's slower. He looked bad against Kevin Holland. He got choked out by the Darce choke, right? You know, he got chinned really badly in previous fights. He had that bounce back win against Themba Gorimbo, but Themba's just not top 15 level. I think Joel Alvarez is top 15 level, maybe even top 10 level. Very, very good striker, very good grappler, really nice submission game. And if he doesn't TKO Vicente Luque, he will choke him out with a Darce, with an anaconda. You know, I think Joel Alvarez gets this done most of the time, and I'm going to pick Joel Alvarez to get this one done by finish. I'm going to say he gets an early TKO or submission over Vicente Luque. After Luque gets in there, he's like, holy shit, how do I close the distance against this freak, man, this super tall, lengthy Spaniard? I don't know how to close the distance, and I think Alvarez is going to land some of those big shots, really nice straight right and straight lefts. I think he's going to chin Vicente Luque, or he's going to drop him and finish him with a choke, but I think Joel Alvarez wins this fight, probably by TKO. So I'm going to go Joel Alvarez round 1 or round 2 TKO over Vicente Luque. Terrible matchup for Luque. Just really, really bad matchmaking for Luque. I'm excited to see Joel Alvarez get back in there, and I'm excited to see him at 170, but I got a feel for Luque, man. I hope he can fluke this one over Joel Alvarez, but I do like Alvarez. I like this move to 170. We'll see what he can do. I'm picking Joel Alvarez as the quick pick. We move on to the co-main event, Deiveson Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. A little bit of a weird matchup. I won't lie, a little bit of a weird matchup, but not a bad matchup nonetheless. Deiveson Figueiredo lost his last fight to Corey Sandhagen. Really didn't look good. Really didn't look good. Looked like he got in there with an injury, got injured in the fight. Like, he was just sloppy. Deiveson Figueiredo had nothing for Sandhagen. He had a couple takedowns. That was about it. He's getting up there in age. He's 37 years old now. He's fighting Montel Jackson with big power. Like, if you haven't watched Montel Jackson before, Montel's got big power. He's got one of the biggest hands in the UFC. Pause, but the guy's got massive hands, massive power in his hands, very fast as well. He's chinned some decent competition. Damon Blackshear, you know, he just went 3 rounds with the bum Daniel Marcos, who was just trying to grapple him up the entire fight. Montel Jackson's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's number 15 in the world. This is going to be a big jump up in competition, but I think Deiveson Figueiredo at this point in his career is just past his prime. He's slow. I want to say Figgy can out-grapple Montel Jackson, but I think Montel is going to catch him at some point and put him down badly. And if he finishes him, I don't know, but I think he'll definitely win on the scorecards at least. So I'm going to go Montel Jackson as the quick pick. I'm going to say he lands a big shot on Deiveson Figueiredo in round 1, steals that round. Round 2, he just outpoints him, and maybe round 3, Figgy, you know, does well, or Montel Jackson just straight out flatline KOs him. I hope that's not the case. I like Figgy, but I think Montel Jackson wins this fight, man. Younger, faster, very powerful. in his prime. Davison Figueiredo is slowing down, older. In these lower weight classes, you got to be fast, you got to be crisp, and also look at the height difference. 5'5" Figgy versus 5'10" Montel Jackson. Montel is super long, 75-inch reach compared to the 68-inch reach. Like, I think Montel is going to be a sniper out there, and I think he's going to be very calculated, very crisp, land a big shot on Figgy, drop him, probably finish him in the first, the second round, or they're going to go the distance, and Montel will just have the bigger moments in this fight. So I got to pick Montel Jackson, unfortunately. And if he wins this fight, this is big for Montel Jackson. It's a big bump up in the rankings. What will he be? He'll be number 6 in the world. That's a big jump up in the rankings. So good for Montel Jackson. He deserves it. He's been around for a while. It's a weird matchup, but Jackson should be in the top 10. He should be fighting top 10 competition. So I'm going to go Montel Jackson as the quick pick. We move on to the main event. Charles Oliveira is back, baby. Come on. You know I'm picking Charles Oliveira. This is a biased pick. I don't care. But Mateusz Gamrot's not winning. He's not winning this fight. I don't care. The people, dude, they just put Mateusz Gamrot as the favorite in this fight. It's either the biggest trap or the freest money of all time. Put the house on Charles Oliveira. I don't give a fuck. All right? Charles Oliveira is winning this fight. I've watched the tape. I've watched everything I need to watch. I know the knowledge. All right? We know this. We are beating Mateusz Gamrot October 11th. I know we are because Charles Oliveira, we have the better grappling. We have the better striking. We're in Brazil. We're trained for 5 rounds. And we're also going to be getting that bounce back. We're going to be getting that bounce back, guaranteed. I can guarantee it. All right, Charles Oliveira is winning this fight. Mateusz Gamrot went to a split decision loss with Dan Hooker. How are you going to a split decision loss with Dan Hooker and going tooth and nail with Dan Hooker, who arguably shouldn't be in the top 5? All right? Now, arguably, it could have been a robbery, but Mateusz Gamrot got dropped. He looked terrible in that fight. He was diving for single legs. He looked like an injured, wounded little Polish man in there, all right? He was diving for single legs. He was clutching onto singles, praying, laying and praying, hoping that Hooker would just give in and drop to the ground, man. While Hooker was defending with guillotines, he had beautiful teeps up the middle, hurting Mateusz Gamrot to the body. He was landing big shots upstairs that were wobbling Mateusz Gamrot. I don't care if Gamrot beat Ludovic Klein. I picked him to beat Klein because that is a favorable matchup. Klein has no grappling. It's just what it is. He has no grappling. Charles Oliveira has good grappling. He's got good defensive takedown defense. He has a nasty guillotine used on Arman Tsarukyan. If Mateusz Gamrot shoots that single leg like he always does, Charles Oliveira is going to snatch up that neck, and he is going to choke out Mateusz Gamrot. I think Charles Oliveira will choke out Mateusz Gamrot in the second or third round. I think Gamrot's going to be coming in. He's going to be like, I'm wrestling heavy. I'm grappling heavy in this fight. If he flukes a KO over Charles Oliveira, it's over. It's over. I'm done. I'm getting off YouTube. I'm never making another video. If he flukes a KO over Oliveira, it's done. It's done. You're never going to see my face again on YouTube. I'm done. Guaranteed. But it's not happening. He's not fluking a fucking KO over Charles Oliveira in Brazil. It's not happening. It's not happening. I don't care what anybody says. And he's not out grappling Charles for 5 rounds on short notice. It's not happening. Mateusz was tired after 3 rounds against Klein. He was tired after 3 rounds against Hooker. His body language was absolutely horrible against Hooker, and it was even bad against Klein when Klein was pushing him forward. Mateusz Gamrot does terrible on the back foot. We saw this against Hooker. We saw this against Klein. Whenever Klein got to his feet and started walking down Gamrot, landing body kicks, landing teeps, landing shots upstairs, walking him down, Gamrot looks like, he looks scared. He looks like a scared lamb about to get slaughtered. Dead ass. Mateusz Gamrot on the back foot is weak. He's slow. This may be a biased pick, but from everything I've watched, anybody picking Gamrot is blind to watching the tape of Mateusz Gamrot. Everything you watch against Gamrot, he fluked a win over Arman Tsarukyan. He fluked that win. He lost to Beneil Dariush. He got dropped. He just looks, his body language is terrible. Charles Oliveira has good body language. He's got a high, tight guard. He's got nasty, snappy teep kicks up the middle that are going to hurt Gamrot badly, because what you do to a grappler, you dig to the body. And Charles will do that. He will dig to the body. He'll throw big shots upstairs. He's got big power. He rocked Arman Tsarukyan. He rocked Michael Chandler. He's rocked almost all of his opponents. We're going to just skip over Ilia Topuria. We're not talking about Ilia in this video. I don't give a shit. We're not talking about that Ilia fight. It was an expedition fight. It was a fluke fight. It was fake, all right? We're not talking about that. Charles Oliveira is going to win this fight. He's going to win this fight, and I'm very confident in this spot as well. Charles Oliveira as an underdog in Brazil against Mateusz Gamrot on short notice. I think he beats Gamrot, man. I think he can beat him in the scrambles. I think he can hit him to the body and hurt him badly to the body. Have him on the back foot. The best thing about Charles is he will constantly walk down Mateusz Gamrot. He will not let Gamrot get on his bike and come forward and grapple heavy. He's going to have Gamrot on the back foot, shooting sloppy single legs, and I think Charles will either wrap up a choke or he'll hurt him badly, get to the ground, and find a Darce, find a rear naked. He's going to find a choke over Mateusz Gamrot in the second or third round. I'm very confident in this pick. I think Mateusz Gamrot, credit to him for stepping up on short notice, but I think this is a better matchup for Charles Oliveira than Fiziev. I think it's a way better matchup because Gamrot is going to go where Charles Oliveira wants him to go, which is the ground. Charles Oliveira has the most submissions in the UFC. He wants Mateusz Gamrot to shoot those single legs, shoot those takedowns after being scared of Charles Oliveira's his striking and his boxing. After getting hurt, Gamrot will just shoot those sloppy single legs. He'll leave his neck exposed. He'll leave his back exposed. That's what Charles wants. I think Charles chokes him out. Guaranteed, man. Put the money on Charles Oliveira. Don't listen to me, actually. Don't put any money. Don't bet. But Charles Oliveira is an underdog, man. Come on. I'm picking Charles Oliveira to win this fight. I say he gets a second or third round submission after a little bit of adversity round one. But like I said, if Mateusz Gamrot flukes a KO on us, it's over. It's over. I'm done. It's over. That's all I got to say. But he will not be doing that. Give me Charles Oliveira by submission for the quick pick. I'm just going to say the final pick. I'm going Charles Oliveira. Come on. Come on, man. In Brazil, he's not retiring. Put it all on Charles, man. Let's go. Let's go. We're getting this win over Mateusz Gamrot. He's my final pick, my quick pick for UFC Fight Night Brazil. If you guys did enjoy the entire video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments down below who you guys are picking in the main event. You better be picking Charles. And I will catch you guys in the next video. See you.